The crazy thing is that, like, people assume that just if a character is bad doesn't mean that that character can't do well. Like, the crazy thing that has happened with the new realm of casuals is people look at someone playing Scorpion, or people look at someone playing like a lower tier character, and they immediately assume that this character wins this matchup, therefore you should win. It's like, what the fuck? No. Like, there's never been that way. Like, have you ever seen a 12 player in Third Strike? It doesn't work that way. People just think everything is matchups. They don't understand that it takes years, potentially, to get to the point where that matchup data even makes any sense. Which is why the first, you know, the first tier lists are just people making guesstimates. Because there's no way that they've played every single matchup enough to know what the hell's going on. There's no fucking way they have that much information. And in all honesty, tier lists are usually derived from super grind sessions, like first to 10s and stuff like that. While some characters do better in first to 3s, or some characters do better in first to 5s. It absolutely is true. So, all I'm saying is, numbers don't always make sense, Mason. Yeah, Garrus is super good and so is Aaron Black right now. But just because a Scorpion player's on the screen doesn't mean they're gonna win. I like playing against Scorpion. He's one of the best characters in the game. I like playing against him because everyone plays him dumb. Everyone plays him the way they've been playing Scorpion for like 30 fucking years, which is jump teleport shit, and I love free punishes. Yeah, like, seeing everyone just looks at a tier list and like, oh, those are reliable numbers. It doesn't really fucking matter, like, and tier lists don't, to be honest, the people that are looking for information on tier lists are not the people that would ever actually use them effectively. Right? Do you think like high-level players got their information from a tier list to be good at a fighting game? No, they figured it out themselves. The people that use tier lists to determine what character they're going to play are the people that will benefit nothing from using a tier list. People that are like, I need to know who's the best, I need to gravitate towards that character immediately. They're gonna lose a bunch and never play him again. That's just the way it works. A good player will take, like, a horrible fucking matchup and make it work because they know everything about the matchup. You can use a tier list and just judge the information, but it literally means nothing to you. It's like you're thinking that I'm gonna jump in and I immediately know how to do all the shit and all the frame data and all the matchups. That takes normally months to years, but okay. Alright. It's like, no, you have to acquire that shit, and some people aren't gonna be good at that, so... That's the way it is. No, tier lists are just information. It's just information. I can give you ZBrush right now, but is it gonna mean you're gonna become an award-winning artist? No! Like, all you have the tools. Do you have the talent? No! Sorry. Some people will. Some people will be amazing at it. Some people are amazing artists, and it's the same shit. Did you use a tier list to dictate whether or not you like a character or not? Here's what you can get from a tier list. Characters that are towards the top are going to be a bit easier to play. Shit's just going to be a bit easier to do. Characters that are on the bottom end of the tier list might not do things as effectively as the characters at the top. That's all you're going to get out of it. Does it mean that you're going to still be beaten by using a good character by somebody that knows what they're doing with the character on the bottom? Every fucking time you will. You're going to lose to that character every time. You're going to come across a Shao Kahn, or you're going to come across this shit where this person has been playing this character like crazy for months, and they've been going through the grind, and they've had to deal with shit. Yeah, at that point, you're gonna lose every single fucking time. I mean, you can use a tier list for information, but the thing is, people don't use tier lists for information. People use tier lists to just immediately evaluate, this character beats that character, you're done. This character's mid-tier, and this character's better, oh, the mid-tier character's gonna lose. You know that's absolutely how people use tier list information. Like, it's not an aspect of like, oh, yeah, I've played Garrus versus Sub-Zero about 150 to 200 times, and the person that was playing, you know, the other character is really well-versed and understands the matchup just about as much as I do, and yeah, it ended up about 6-4, or it ended up about 5-5 in the end. Like, the people use tier lists, and I agree with that tier list. I think this is true. No, I think he's a bit better. Like, that argument doesn't fucking exist when someone just looks at a tier list. It doesn't. It's like throwing cereal boxes on there, or fast food joints, or Disney movies. Like, you just have a tier list that people are just going to go like, oh, like I'm an expert. I fucking this beats this. It's like, it's just goofy information. Like the true tier lists really come from heavy evaluation of years of fucking practice, years of shit. Like, the goddamn tier list for Super Turbo is still rotating. How is character loyalty not a good thing? I mean, a good thing in terms of what? Winning money? How many of you in here are gonna go out and win Evo? How many people in general are gonna go out and win Evo? For Mortal Kombat specifically, I'm gonna tell you how many people in here are gonna do it. How all the people are gonna do it. It's gonna be 8. Of the millions of people that go buy this game, 8 of them, not even 8, I don't even know if top 8 gets paid out. 8 of them are going to get money from, like, a big tournament. I wouldn't be too worried about, like, your character loyalty dictating things. I mean, what do you choose to gain out of it? It is a video game after all. And just because I'm, like, grinding on a character that sucks a dick doesn't mean I'm not enjoying trying to break it. Like, that's the thing that makes fighting games fun, is trying to break shit. Trying to figure out, okay, well, she's bad, and she has things that are obviously not as good as the other characters. What do we do to make her fun? What can we do to make her actually work in some situations? I'm not saying you're trash, chat. I'm saying we're all trash. Have fun. Fuck it. If you want to get better, then keep getting better. If you want to get better, you need to focus on playing the best players in the world. If you want to play a video game and have fun learning cool characters and fighting games and finding cool shit they can do in the corner and mid-screen and everything like that, which is what I do, I'm not competing anymore. I'm not fucking competing anymore. That's the whole point. You compete, you learn to hate things. You learn to, like, learn to get pissed off by things, because you have to deal with the game's bullshit. You have to deal with the game's bullshit at the highest level. And that's not a bad thing. It depends on what you're in for. What are you in it for? You want to be the very best like no one ever was, then start finding the people that are amazing at the game and then lose a billion times over and understand why you're losing. Guess what the official source of a tier list is? Usually a player that's played a shit ton of the game, probably not all the characters, they have a good understanding of most of the characters, but have they played a first to 100 to 200 of every single matchup? If you were to play a first to 100, which is about enough, that's about as much as you're gonna need to figure out how good something really is. If you were to play a first to 100 in this game, of every single character matchup, let's just make it 150 times. Like, that's about right. Like, maybe, let's just make it 100. You've done 2,500 matchups. But now you have to do that for every single other character for every single other matchup. 62,000, you need to play 62,500 matches if you're going to personally provide a completely accurate tier list based on actual evidence and playtime. And I guarantee you nobody's done that yet. So tier lists are a good way of evaluating what someone thinks about characters and how they do against the rest. Like, that's not invaluable information depending on how you're using it, but like I said, this brings it all the way back around. People don't use it for that. They just go, the beats of like, that's what it fucking boils down to. They just are like, well, that person beats this, game over, taking no account into the complete skill factor. How many times, chat room, how many times have you seen someone fighting in tournament against someone that is doing very well, and then the person on the receiving end is like, fuck, this isn't working. I am going to switch characters to a character that is higher tier. Character that wins this matchup. Potentially a 7-3 matchup. I'm gonna get them. They lose. Because the person that's playing the lower tier character has played that 7-3 matchup so much that it doesn't matter if it's a 7-3, because guess what? They only need one. They only fucking need one. So they win. Ah! Frost is trash. She's just not easy to use.